So, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Mazes okay speaking here once more. Um, Wherever you're watching me from, are you watching me from anywhere? I say good evening once more. I hope all is well with you. So this evening, I would want to look at, this evening a lot has happened today again once more regarding Edo State. A lot has happened, you know, in one day. In one day, a lot has happened in Edo State. So that's why I have come to discuss Edo State once more. For some of you that might think that is getting boring, I think it's getting interesting, you know. So let me do my usual. It's going to be interactive as well. We get to a point, I would let you come in and have your opinion as well. Again, thank you very much for someone giving me already thumbs up. Thank you for giving me that thumbs up. And hello, good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Wonderful people. I hope you've had a wonderful day. Give me a thumbs up. And if I would know where you are watching me from, that would be awesome. So here is Mazias, okay, from the ground zero. So, and I have a Ray Power here saying, good morning. Uh-oh. Who is saying good morning? Good morning. Where are you watching me from? I might want to know where you're watching me from, and someone already is giving a thumbs down. I haven't even started. Please. Uh, so I haven't even started. If you please. Um, so sorry, I think I'm getting a feedback here. Let me see what's happening. What did I do? Why am I hearing myself twice somehow? Anyway, be that as it may, people, let it be known that what is happening in Edo is getting interesting. I have Evans Ume here, and I have. Oh, okay, yes, Raymond, you're watching from Kuala Lumpur. So rather than give me thumbs up for even when I haven't, thumbs down even when I haven't started, please. If you want, if you have a bad energy, negative vibe, so I would ask that you please vacate the conversation if you don't want to be part of what is going to happen this evening. So now, this evening, the following is going to happen. Let me tell us. Why am I getting this feedback? Okay. Okay, now I know. Sorry, that was my fault. Sorry, technical issues here. It's entirely my fault. Now, what I'm trying to do this evening is to look at what is happening in Edo again, vis-a-vis the things I said yesterday. As the title have suggested, within the last 24 hours, the APC has had three different chairmen supported by three different factions, three different chairmen supported by three different factions. The question is, where is Buhari in all this? What role do you think Buhari is playing in all these things? Is he just feigning ignorance? Remember, as I said yesterday, and I stood by that, that Obaseki visited him yesterday, and he snubbed Obaseki. Hence, Obaseki, you know, gone back to Benin and obviously resigned from the APC party. That resignation the resignation is there. I mean, I have his resignation letter, and that's here is his resignation letter, the letter that he wrote yesterday. You can see that here on the screen. So basically resigned yesterday, and I mean, it is within his right. He's actually lucky that Rotimi Chibika took Oshomole to court, because the current court case that sacked Oshomole was as a result of what was initiated by Rotimi Chibika. Now, but if when he resigned, but again, someone actually asked me on this call yesterday if he's going to go back. I think whoever asked that question, man, you are a prophet. I can now believe that as Obasaki is going to go back to the APC. How do I know? Obasaki is going to go back to the APC. I will show you a tweet Obasaki tweeted today, which clearly shows that he's going to go back to APC. Look at it here. Now, on his Twitter account, I found this. He said, I have not moved to a new platform yet to seek re-election. My focus now is to control the spread of coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic, which is ravaging our country and threatening our health system. Ewo, ravaging your country. Have you become the president or are you still the governor of Edo State? I thought that tweet should read, ravaging my state. Now he said he's ravaging our country. You see how politicians play with words. But what does that mean? In my estimation, the whole point here is that the guy is still circling, trying to see if he's going to get the green light to go back. Now, this evening I would analyze if it's possible for him to go back and what are the chances. Okay. So yesterday there were some videos that couldn't play, but today at least I think the technology is going to work better. And I would play because I'm using something different in order to get these things to work. And okay, so we've seen the tweet here, and so someone made a joke. I mean, don't take this serious. I'm going to show you the next picture, but don't take it serious, please. And forgive me if you find it offensive, but it's actually a joke. Sorry, not that one. It's a joke. Someone said that Ezeyamo collapsed and went to the hospital. No, but again, that's a 2016 picture anyway. But I just found it a joke, basically. I know it was published online, but to me, it was just basically a joke, maybe because the guy thought, oh, Ezeyamo came back because Obasaki is likely to come back. Then he goes. And the guy that brought him in, Oshomola, is no longer there to protect him. You see, people, that's why it's good to stay with issues. He was brought in to do a hatchet job. Now, nothing there to do. So, obviously, he's going to go back. Okay. So, on that note, now let's look at this part as well. Now, where, the next one is where I think I played that for some of you who stayed to the end of my video last night. You will see when I played this video. And I want to look at the issues again. Now, in clarity with what is happening and the evidences that are before me now. For instance, this is what
a video last night.
Wike said, yes.
As then governor was campaigning for Basiki.
So that said, it's good that we understand
in the name of God, who understands, who sees, who knows what is in the mind of every man. That Obaseki is from one of the most reputable families in Benin. That Obaseki went to the premier university in Nigeria and graduated in flying colors. That Obaseki went to the US and came back with his master's degree. And when he came, he started creating jobs. That Obaseki came to help him do those things he didn't have.
Yeah.
I watched him yesterday. He mentioned this road. Obaseki is involved.
So now, if you think Wike is, for some of us that might think, well, what is Wike talking about? Yeah, was Wike there? Now, I want to play us when Oshomola himself actually says those things that Wike was alluding to. Okay? So, watch it here.
By the special grace of God, who read the heart,
yes,
who knows the heart of man, who knows the past and the future, who knows the beginning and the end. He sees what we don't see. He knows what we don't know. He knows that God will. He comes from a large family in the kingdom.
You see, exactly what Wike said that he said. He came from a large family in Benin Kingdom.
He went to school.
Of course, he went to school.
He finished his secondary school.
Yes.
He went to University of Ibadan.
Yes.
He finished.
Yes.
There were no issues.
Did he hear that? He went to he went to University of Ibadan and he finished. Okay.
Fly colors. He went.
Oh. He didn't only finish. He finished with worth. Let me see if I get that again. How did he finish?
To University of Ibadan.
Yes.
He finished.
How?
There were no issues.
Okay.
Fly colors.
Ooh.
He went to US. He did his masters.
Ooh.
He came back home. He started helping people to set up businesses, to manage businesses.
Yes.
He helped to set up many banks, including several first generation, second generation banks.
Yes.
Then he came home to give support to me,
Okay.
to bring on board what I do not have.
And what is it that you
Because
don't
I'm
have?
not a finance man.
Ooh, that's
and
good.
He became the chairman of our economic team.
Exactly.
So everything we have done, the road from Arewa to Zenema, Godwin had hand.
Okay. Now, if you're from Benin, pay attention here. He is now going to recite and regurgitate every single thing that Obaseki has done. So these are verifiable things. So some of you from Benin, when it gets to the point of calling in, I would want you guys to
From
actually
here to
verify if
Uboha,
those
Godwin
that
has
is
hand.
right.
The schools here, Godwin has hand. The water everywhere, Godwin has hand. He has been part of the tradition. He knows the vision. He knows the mission. He knows the target. He knows where we are. He knows the challenges, and he knows how to overcome them, to deliver all that he has promised.
You see, suddenly now the question is, and that's why sometimes, many of you that would agree with me, when we said that politics is the dirty game, it's clearly, getting to that. Someone has clearly said all these good things about a man. That's when he was campaigning for him to get re-elected.
We do.
Let's see.
It's a family tradition to keep our word. That is what APC represent. The only thing I forgot
APC doesn't keep their
is
words.
that even with the economic crisis,
Now he's
today
praising
that
him
many
more.
local governments can't afford salaries because of the drop in price and the destruction of our pipelines.
So can people
Samoko,
from
I was here when we
Edo
commissioned the
confirm
market
if he was
for
paying,
Uroni market
if
women.
he paid
Correct or
salary?
not? Now you just ask me. Come on now. You just ask me. What can Yakubu say is his outstanding accomplishment when he was local government chairman? Is it because he failed primary one?
Hey,
Is that why he should be admitted to a university?
This man has bad mouth, I tell you. Anyway, so that's it. You can see how he has actually praised him. Okay. Again, now they've started having this issue. They started having this issue. Watch again. Worth.
I know my limit. He knows it.
Exactly.
Now,
He says he knows his limit.
nobody. Godwin has worked for 7.5 years
In Edo
for the
State.
people of Edo State,
In Edo.
using his brain, using his creativity, quietly, not making noise, not appearing in newspaper or radio. He sits in the office of the economic team, which he built using his network of friends.
Look, he's talking about when Godwin wasn't even a governor, and that he was able to get people together under what he called the corporate social responsibilities, CRS, corporate social responsibilities, to build structures for Edo. I mean, it's good to keep tab of all these things, because suddenly, as all these things were happening, I said to myself, I'm not from Edo, but I remember sometime about 4 years ago that I had some of these things, and I was like, that I'm thinking, whoa, if a comrade governor says this guy is this good, he should be. But when I started hearing the opposite again, and I went into the archive, I started digging. How come? what's happening. And that's why you can hear this. Let me
inside the
more.
heart of government house without demanding 1 naira.
See, he didn't demand 1 naira. He didn't. And they are clapping for him that he did all these things without commingling,
Now
not
a
demanding
man like
anything.
that, who will not ask me to give him contract.
You see, he
But
didn't
will
ask him
promise me,
when he was a
comrade,
governor.
You just do the thinking. We will create the means to actualize your thoughts. And to his credit today, whether admitted or not, check the books of Edo State government. We did not build new structure in government house with government money.
Okay.
That economic team office was built through Godwin network, or what he calls corporate social responsibility.
And who was behind that? That was Godwin Obaseki. You, Oshomole, was saying all these things. Godwin Obaseki was behind this. Okay,
And today, that
listen
remains
more.
a permanent asset of Edo State government. In fact, as I feel now, Godwin, and we want us hereafter to be calling that building Godwin Obaseki building.
He's actually dedicating.
Because it was simply the outcome of your uncommon capacity to think, to create, to mobilize, and to challenge us to put this to public good.
You see?
I don't see your opponent, Eze Yamu, being able to say that.
Wallahi,
Wando,
I agree with you. They are very comical. Huh? They are very comical.
On April 14, during my election,
Look at the
Eze
good
Yamu was in
things.
hiding.
Okay, hold on now. Okay, the same Oshomole went to PDP to bring Eze Yamu. Now, watch Oshomole, the things he will say about Eze Yamu.
EFCC, he did not vote.
He said he was hiding from
How
EFCC.
can somebody who didn't vote claim that he made me? There
Politicians.
is no village in Nigeria that we go and spend 5 minutes. Somebody will come out and say, this na comrade with this. We have worked for our country. We made our name. We are not tied to anybody or dross. We simply walk.
I hope some of you who are young would understand what he meant by trust.
So if you have to look at Godwin and his creditors, and you look at a man who's only worked by his own CV, student, I was rusticated for 2 years.
Okay. Now, he's trying to compare Obaseki with Eze Yamu. I don't want to play the whole length of the video, but the message there is gotten. Okay? Now, watch as Obaseki resigned. The same man that has said all these things, watch what he now said yesterday. The same man, not another man. Watch what he said yesterday as Obaseki resigned. Hold on.
A political party is a voluntary association.
So now he's trying to say that he's not perturbed in any way, shape, or form that this guy has resigned. Okay?
Want to stay, you stay. If you have reason to leave, you leave. I think he has exercised that right, democratic right to belong or to withdraw. After all, he joined us only 2016 at the eve of his own election. So leaving the APC is not, from our point of view.
I agree with you. He says it's a good movie to watch.
Rubbish.
Me, I have my popcorn.
As Edo people, they didn't even know him.
Oh.
You know, I have not been talking because he's a member of our party.
You've been talking too much, basically.
But the moment he resigned now, we can now engage him on all the half-truth, disinformation, and etc.
Okay.
The issue of his disqualification has to do with the forgery with his certificate.
Holy moly. Which forgery? The same man you just heard now, minutes ago, saying that he went to the best universities. Again, if you didn't hear that,
By
let me
the
start
grace of God who read the heart, Godwin had hand.
You
He
see?
rode from here. There were no issues.
Again, hold on.
He went to school.
Exactly. You hear
He
that?
finished in secondary school.
He finished
He
secondary
went
school.
to University of
He went to
Ibadan.
university.
He finished.
He finished.
There were no issues. Fly colors. He went to US. He did his masters. He came back home. He started happy.
So now,
party is a voluntary association.
okay, this is the same man saying the same
I
thing.
cannot run down my party. But the moment he resigned now, we can now engage him on all the half-truth,
Oh, this guy is.
disinformation, etc. The issue of his disqualification has to do with the forgery with his certificate.
Forgery. You see, sometimes these people, honestly, it's not good to run another man down. University of Ibadan has come out to say this guy, one of the foremost and one of the best universities you have in Nigeria, if not in the Black African nation. And he's just said these things, and this is the same man here wearing the same khaki, saying these things that this man has no certificate, that he has everything. You see, he used the word forgery. How does a misspelling of a name amount to forgery? You know, sometimes when these people talk, they think like every Nigerian watching them on the TV is a cucumber. Come on.
Now, when you forge certificates,
He didn't forge any certificate. You have said so.
Particularly recently in Bayelsa, where
No, please. The case of Bayelsa was different. The case of Bayelsa was a case of affidavit. Somebody who swore 12 affidavit with 12 different names. It's fraudulent. My name remained the same since I was born till today. So how can someone have sworn affidavit, someone have sworn 12 different affidavits in 12 different names? How can you compare that to someone who has only someone who has only I missing in one of the, I think, NYSA certificate? How does the two tally? What's wrong?
we won an election, and on account of irregularities in the certificates or name, we lost it at the Supreme Court level.
You see, sometimes, honestly, I don't know what these people take Nigerians for. Do they take Nigerians as morons? You won the election. That is the case of Leon in Bayelsa. Yes, the election was won. He was disqualified because of his deputy, but his deputy was a case of someone who had multiple names. And who can have multiple names if you don't have anything to do with fraud?
To meticulously screen those who wishes to contest election on your platform. That is the issue. And you know what? We want him to go to PDP because it was PDP that exposed him.
Now watch it. You know, I said it yesterday. PDP actually noticed these abnormalities in 2016 and went to court. But look at his argument here now.
In 2016, they filed a case at the Federal High Court, amplify the forgery and inconsistencies in his certificate. It's not APC, he was with us. We just manage to go.
Someone made a comment. Obed Enyinnaya. I didn't say Obaseke's certificate was fake. Vice Chancellor Abrusa Alieboma, Professor. Again, it's exactly. So sometimes I don't understand these things. Okay, you think it's stopped there? Because what I want to do this evening is just basically to use the opportunity to lay this foundation. To say, because the arguments sometimes get confusing, so that with these evidences I have taken time to gather, that is going to get us somewhere. Now, the same person saying this thing now is the same person that defended Muhammad Buhari against Atiku Abubakar when Atiku Abubakar argued that Muhammad Buhari had a different certificate. Now watch what he said when that argument was made.
Times, I don't want you to just report what we say. I need you to evaluate what we say. How many professors are president around the world? How many PhD holders are president, whether in US, in UK, in France, in Germany, in Japan, you name it. Intellectual, this thing is a different field. Leadership ability is another.
Now, you see, the argument then was the argument of certificate by Dr. Uzuku, SAN, who argued that the Buhari had no required certificate to contest for the presidency or to contest for that office. You can hear his argument here is, it is not about certificate. That is immaterial. Again, hear him.
In Germany, in Japan, you name it. Intellectual, this thing is a different field. Leadership ability is another. And you all can read that constitution by yourself. I have read it. And it simply says, basically, if you can read and write.
Okay. If the constitution says if you can read and write, why do you then disqualify Obaseki? Does it mean that Obaseki cannot read and write? If you had a forged certificate, many of you that haven't, if you have studied abroad, you know that the moment you get into most of these Western universities, they have to call back and validate your documentation. So how could Obaseki have genuinely, not these Toronto universities, have genuinely studied abroad and the certificates were not verified? What sort of argument is this man putting forward?
Intellectual, your paper qualification sometimes says little or nothing about your leadership ability. And then the second issue, they canvas and they made a lot of weather out of it, is heavy weather out of it, is whether Muhammadu is the same thing as Mohammed.
Oshomole, Oshe Baba. He said, when PDP put up the argument, and honestly, I am so happy that PDP fought that election to the Supreme Court. When PDP put up the argument of Muhammadu and Mohammed, are they the same thing? Obaseki and Obasek, are they the same? So if he works for Buhari, so why doesn't he now work for Obaseki? Even he will come to his own because he has the same issue. As I alluded yesterday, but I couldn't play the video. Now watch him.
The same way that in my own election in 2016 or 2012, my opponent then PDP went to the tribunal to say that Aliyu, A-L-I-U, which is how Aliyu is pronounced in Edo State where I was born. But moving to Kaduna, you know that in the north, the same Aliyu is spelled as A-L-I-Y-U. And somebody wanted a governorship election to be cancelled on the basis of this accent and spelling which different part of the country uses. Even children know that that is a joke.
Okay. So, Shomole, by your analogy, and if I use deductive analogy now, I can say that you are a child. Because you say that if someone argues in this way, that even children know that this is a joke. And because now you and your kangaroo committee are arguing in this form, it will be fair to say that you are nothing but a joke. I hope you don't take offense, because that's what it is. I mean, I didn't say these things. You said them. What I have done is to take my time to bring the evidence and say, this is the things you said. So, and what is the Constitution saying? But hey, yesterday, as these people won, as Baseki left, because the people of Edo, honestly, are really behind Baseki. As Baseki left, what happened? The people started jubilating. People, what people? People really jubilating. So, and all this jubilation. So this is the jubilation here is basically because of Baseki has declined. Listen to what they are saying. Some of you in the higher institution, it reminds me of K-guys. Work can never stop. About good old days. Obaseki for governor. So people. I mean, many of these people never met Obaseki one-on-one like himself. Have no interest of meeting him. But we can all be looking when things are going wrong and pure and quiet. So look at people just jubilating because the guy had just left. Left the party for good. And this, I think, is this one. Even in the midnight, people were still jubilating. Look at it. See, people are saying midnight, night.
The people are tired of Somalia impunity. The people are tired of Somalia impunity. Yes. It is over for Yamo Godfather. No Godfather regime in Edo State. One man cannot decide the fate of Edo lights.
See?
One man cannot decide the fate of Edo people.
Is to show you.
Yes.
Look at all the people just because of the news that the governor resigned.
Bye-bye to APC. APC are damn better
than
than
It doesn't matter actually which party the guy goes to. Just everyone just wants because they can see this godfatherism, extension of Lagos politics into it. Or someone actually made a comment saying that is the annexation of Edo, or the conversion of Edo into Lagos. You can see that people jubilating. I mean, look at these are done proven. These are people, normal people, just on their own, spontaneous. It wasn't planned because nobody knew he would resign. I've shown his resignation letter before. But the moment he resigned, you can see what is happening. Everyone took to the streets. So somehow, I'm beginning to see that the people of Edo are with this guy. There is no two ways about it. The jubilation videos, I mean, leave everywhere. Now, these ones are jubilating for that Oshomola is going. They are not jubilating because of just say that because the court sacked Oshomola. But this guy with coming should go and walk out. Benin people just they were just so happy and they were gyrating everywhere.
Celebrate the suspension of their
Now people are still jubilating over the suspension of Adam
suspended by the High Court. So right now, he can no longer parade himself as national chairman everywhere. So this is the governor there and the deputy. We have taken to the street to celebrate the national chairman's sack. So now, again, chairman.
I hope some of you understood that song. The song they said is, I think is Pepper Them or Baseki, Pepper Them. Okay, so today, like I said, the title of the video, within the last 24 hours, APC have had three different chairmen, APC. Now, earlier today we had report that armed police were drafted to the facility of the where the APC National Working Committee were holding their convention basically, and eventually they appointed ETA to act on behalf of Ajimobi. Ajimobi is from the southwest, ETA is from the south, so they are now appointed. Now, that is Oshomole, ETA, and Ajimobi. 3 people within 24 hours. And where is the president in all this? Is the president sleeping? Or is he just gone a war that he doesn't want to, be seen in all these things? And this is what the National Working Committee actually said. Let me play that. It's rather than explaining. Let me play their statement here.
Circumstances, and because this is so the Constitution Constitution provides us with remedies. And following the ongoing Edo State primaries of the party, the NWC has constituted an election panel, the seventh
No, you go keep person.
for the Edo primary elections that is scheduled to hold on the 22nd.
Now, I think in all these things, one thing that is very clear, they have nullified the election that disqualified Obaseki. They have nullified that election. That election is now null and void. Okay? So, because that election is null and void, it's getting interesting here. Now, look at the people that were appointed to take over. These are the names, and he will reel out these names because they are working towards, and all these things is the timeline is too short because today is Wednesday. They have 2 working days before the primaries. Now, the question thereof is, what is the governor likely going to do? Is he going to stay back in APC? Yes, I think it gives him the opportunity because of the move he has made with the PDP. It's going to give him a better. He's going to be at the. He will have the upper hand to come back into APC. Let's hear them out.
And the panel has these names, and I read. Number one,
names.
Senator Hope Uzodinma.
No, Governor Hope Uzodinma.
His Excellency, Senator Hope Uzodinma, as chairman.
You see that the primary election committee, that is Hope Uzodinma, is going to be their chairman.
Bashiru as secretary. Alhaji Abdullahi Abbas as member. Honorable Ibrahim Sabo as member. Honorable Ojo Obioma as member. Hajia Amina Lantana Mohammed, member. Last but not the least, Honorable Benga Elebeleye as member. For the primary election appeal committee, we have Professor Mustafa Bello as chairman, Dr. Kayode Agulo.
In summary here, people, all these things that I've elaborated today means one thing. The disqualification of Obaseki is hereby considered null and void. That is the whole summary. The disqualification of Obaseki is declared null and void. The question is, will Obaseki still be in go back to the APC to contest, or will he go to PDP? I don't know what you think. I don't know what your thoughts are, but if you wish to make contributions as usual, like we normally do, you can call this number on the screen and you make your contribution. But some of you cracked me up, really, people. Who said? Who was it? Emma says coronavirus. Oh, I'm having a good laugh, people. Obaseki should remember that Oshomole helped Hope Uzodinma into Imo State, and so, well, I don't know. Honestly, it's neither here nor there. But one thing you have to know is, they are not equal. They don't actually live in the moon. The anger that Edo people have shown in the last couple of days, I believe, will make them to be very careful and to in how they would treat the issue. The anger, because I haven't seen this level of anger in a while. You can imagine. I mean, I showed those videos when people of Edo Everyone is angry on the street, dancing, drinking, that Adams Oshomole has been removed. So somehow, Edo people are, I would say, they are politically aware. Hmm? Edo people are politically exposed. So it's part of those things that, I mean, Edo people, if you go and get WAEC or NECO or anything, you can see that Edo has always been among the top 10 or top 15 in the nation. So these are people that are really aware of what they are doing, and they are, I believe, they have this political consciousness as well. You can imagine, I mean, by the virtue of the way they've reacted, since the last 24 hours have shown that these are people that are really aware. In some states, in most states, I mean, when Ambode was disqualified, for instance, he did nothing. Did you see anybody jubilate? Anybody feel sad? People felt like, you know, there are people up there who decide what happens. But here, it's the thing that people always, you can see when people started pushing already, this is not Lagos, this is not Lagos. And boom, something happens immediately. You can see people reacting. People are, I believe the Edo people are more aware, and they are all honestly on top of the issue that is happening. Now, as I said, if you want to make any contribution, the line is now open for your contribution. But I think at the end of the day, as Nana said, it is a comedy of some sorts. It appears to be a comedy that is happening. And I said yesterday I will be getting my popcorn. At the end of the day, I don't want to say that I am predicting, but I think if car is not taken, Obaseki might actually lose both sides. Bear in mind, PDP also, I don't know if it's tomorrow or next that they have their, which day is 19? Maybe on Friday, I think. I think PDP might have their primaries on the 19th. And if they do, it doesn't give him time. Unless PDP want to play smart one on APC. You know what they can do? PDP can actually cancel their planned primaries and move it to like 23rd to give some days after APCs. No, maybe 25th. That would be a master stroke. APC will nearly go and hang themselves, I'm telling you. Because, you know, that's Memman said, I feel the northern politicians gradually destroying APC. No, I don't think this is actually the northern politicians. I think this is more of Oshomola. Hello, I have my first caller here. Hello, good evening. Okay, yeah, hello, good day, sir. I think, hold on, two things here. Sorry, two things. I think you're using your headset and you're too close to the headset because it blips.
Okay. Can
Okay.
you hear me now?
Oh, much better.
Okay, so my reaction to your question is, you see, my brother, nobody is talking about development in Edo State. No one is talking about, they were all talking about leadership and who is going to be empowered to share the loot, the money of the state.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is even talking about how have this man gone in terms of developing the state.
Yeah, but people say that he has done well, isn't it?
Yeah, yes. That's why you see people jubilating because Shomole is trying to truncate the development. Now, what I have to tell you is this: is dicey situation for Obaseki.
Mm.
If you say that Obaseki will lose both,
he might. No, I didn't. No, sorry, I didn't say he will. I said he might.
Yeah. So why he should not lose it is because one, there was an agreement between him and PDP flag bearers.
We don't know yet.
They say that after the primary, the winner will now sublet. They are going to sublet him. They will substitute him that is the game with PDP. That's the initial agreement. If the flag bearer comes out as a candidate,
are you sure of that? I mean, I'm not aware of that information. I must be honest.
I'm telling you, that was their last agreement, because he's not going to partake in the primary. Obaseke is not going to partake on PDP primary.
Hold on.
He's going to wait.
Do you know that anybody? Do you know that anybody who wins the PDP ticket has won the election like almost 35%? So you need about some percentages to come up. So why would anybody who has gone through that hurdle now step down for someone else to climb up? I don't know. Honestly, I don't see that working. But it, again, like I said yesterday, Nigeria, I don't say that something is not important, because it's a nation that I have seen some of the things you cannot even imagine. You can. I told somebody one day. I said, "Can you imagine that a car can drive with 3 wheels, just 2 front and just 1 at the back?" And it was like a joke. But one day I saw a car driving in 3 wheels. So
anything can happen in my country.
It's a nation of absurdity I have never seen.
What I'm trying to tell you is this. Let's assume I'm a candidate and you promised me with every assurance that you are going to take only 4 tenure. Once that will complete your tenure 8 years.
Huh?
Then you tell me after the 8 years, for the fact that I've already won the election and substitute you, that you are going to make sure that I succeed as far as we are in the same party. That is 1, 2. All the expenses you made, I'm going to pay. 3, remember, I am an incumbent.
Yeah, but he hasn't made any expenses anyway.
No matter what. Yeah, so I bet you, these are the things that's going to play on this. But it will be so suicidal if Obaseke leaves APC, PDP again, goes back to APC.
No, but he had no. Sorry, I think let me point this out. Obaseke has not gone into PDP.
Yes.
He hasn't, because I have his tweet here. That was the insinuation that he has gone into PDP. He came out this morning to say he hasn't. And I have the tweet on the screen here. He says, "I have not moved to a new platform yet to seek re-election." That's when I laughed when he said he was focusing on COVID-19 ravaging their country. I'm like, you are not the president. So the president is hiding somewhere.
He's killing time. My brother, he's killing time to know where the pendulum swings. But I have to tell you this. Remember, Ajumobi, who is in coma, that's supposed to be the acting chairman, is Tinubu's boy. Remember, Gaidam, who everybody is trying to make sure that he takes over, is Amechi's man. And Amechi is not in good time with Oshomole. Now they brought out Salisu and Hilad from north and south Hela. These are the cabal that we are trying to hijack the politics from both Tinubu. All these things are from north. All these things you can see are generating from north, because they want to cripple Tinubu, because Oshomole is Tinubu's man, Ajimobi is Tinubu's man, Hilad is Gadam is Amechi's boy.
Do you know actually what is playing out is actually a game of old political parties, ACN, ANPP, CPC.
Exactly.
It's an extension of that game. You know, ACN,
and new PDP.
Exactly, NPDP, and so the ACN is actually trying to insert their authority in all this.
Yes.
Anyway, it's an interesting development.
Let's watch and see how the event unfolds.
But my popcorn is near the microwave, so you just stick it in. I have nothing to lose. You know,
of course, yeah.
Someone said, "I hope he doesn't turn into Operation Wait here." Well, I said, if he's going to turn into Operation Wait here, if he's going to get us to the point that we will, you know, maybe talk about the Aburi Accord that I've been canvassing for, that we get back to that either we get back to 1963 Constitution or we get back to 1967 Aburi Accord that was reached in.
I pray and I hope.
So.
Yes.
If he pushes that to that, I mean, I will be the happiest man on earth anyway. Anyway, thank you for your call.
Too. You're welcome, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, you've heard that what he was saying, that there is this unspoken agreement that they are going to cede power to Obaseki. Like I said, I haven't had that narration or narrative basically. And I don't even know why they would do that. But again, I have learned to know that in the nation called Nigeria, absurdity is the order of the day. Anything can happen. It's the only nation you think things that. I mean, yesterday a caller called in and said, because yesterday everyone was thinking that he has gone to PDP. Now, a caller said, do you think this guy can get back to APC? As of yesterday, I mean, it didn't make any sense. It didn't. But look at it today. Within the next 24 hours, it's becoming plausible that he could actually go back to APC. Yeah, hello, Mazezoke speaking. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, good evening, Maze.
Yeah. Okay, Uche. Yeah, Uche. How is Iceland?
Be okay.
Do you people still? Do you have When I hear Iceland, I imagine people sleeping on top of ice.
No.
Maybe it's my village red sand mentality that is pushing me.
Actually, that's how we Nigerians are viewing Iceland. So
Okay.
it's still a tiny country, but developed. Yeah. I'm eating my popcorn and listening to what is happening because Nigerian political problem is like watching a comedy or watching a movie.
I'm telling you.
This thing is you don't know what to expect in the next 2 hours. It's always changing.
Yes, constantly.
It's really unfortunate because the politicians are turning Nigeria into something else. Somebody, they will be calling you savior and all kinds of names while you are with them, and once you turn your back, you became the devil and start calling you other names. That is unpredictable. This APC problem, I think, is really getting.
But we can look at it from the other way around. What is happening here could be likened to, remember when PDP was in this mess, when they had Arimodu Sharif.
Yeah.
And they had issue when FKK and co basically said they would leave the party, and when FKK went on the rampage, writing so many unpredictable things. But I mean, there is a reason why the Igbos actually have a specific name for what is happening. But in Igbo, we call it Ndorondoro Ochichi.
Exactly.
So basically, that is what it is. That is, in the words of Patrick Obiabom, it's Baraboism. You blow me, I blow you.
Yeah, you do me, I do you.
Exactly.
According to Oshimode. But the way they lie, it seems like they're calling we Nigerians kids. You say one thing today, tomorrow you turn to another, and before you know it, A became Z.
Well, you saw how Oshomole was saying the things he said anyway, even when with Muhammad Buhari.
Exactly. And even himself talking about Ali and Adi or something like that. Of course,
it's for him.
Make some mistake putting I, like Basegi.
Listen, I was once refused a visa. Why? Because my first name Tochukwu was written with double O. in one of, I think was my baptismal certificate. I can't remember, but in my international passport is was written with 1 O. So, but again, it was easily corrected because subsequently, But if you're within Nigeria, you probably wouldn't know. But it's only when you begin to engage, people don't actually know that if it's in the Western world, like in the case of Buhari, Muhammadu and Mohammed, these are two different individuals. It invalidates you. It should have got you sacked.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. For example, I had similar thing. Somebody wrote, I was going somewhere, traveling within Europe, and they wrote, somebody wrote Uju. I just wrote it, Uju, instead of putting, like in Igbo, A, which is E in English, and they put U. That's not from me. That's, some office problem. And they said it's not your name. And I said, okay. Show the document. I said, sorry, this is not your name. Go and ratify it and come back. And of course, I did it.
But again, you see, the point remains: if Nigeria was to be a working nation, over time, these things shouldn't be an issue anymore. Like in the case of Bayelsa State, where someone had multiple names, it's somewhat absurd anyway. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's neither here nor there. The point I'm making is the Supreme Court has already had a pronouncement on this. So, and because they've done, sorry, there is nothing else. There is nothing else you can do. And these guys know that Supreme Court has made this pronouncement.
Exactly.
So
they already made. Speaker had made that because they said you don't need certificate to rule in Nigeria. So
exactly, that's what Adam Soshomolo said.
It's unfortunate to get something like that. So, but that's how it is, and we have to deal with it.
Anyway, thank you very much for your call, my brother, and regards to everyone, and stay safe. Yeah, cheers. So that's it. I had a caller. I missed a call from, I think, someone from France. 033. So if you can call back, and I have here saying hello, Mazi Asaba Ije Omo, and Jennifer Sophie, Nadi 2K. That is, I believe, that is Nedum. So I'm just giving a shout out to you guys. If you want to make your contribution, we'll be rounding up very soon. So the point remains that Edo is pregnant, quote unquote. Whatever is going to happen in Edo is pregnant. But trust politicians. I believe you me. They won't be sleeping, because these people, they like to be awake. They like to be awake. They would be, the whole night. They will be, moving from one hotel to the other. This night, they all will be moving from one hotel to the other. That's why women don't necessarily engage in politics, because during the day they won't do their meetings. They would all just want the wee hour. That's when they want to do their meetings. Anyway, so thank you, everyone. So if you want to make your contribution, what is going to be the fate of Obaseki? Is Obaseki going to go back to the PDP, to the APC, or is he going to port or migrate to the PDP? For now, according to him, he is still within the APC. Sorry, he hasn't left to another party, but he has left the APC. So even someone said today that he cannot go back to APC, that if he goes back to the APC, that they would go to court to make sure that he doesn't go back to APC. I don't know, because actually that could make some legal sense. It could be that even if he wants to go back, they could stop him, because in his resignation letter, let me see if I can read it. in his resignation letter here, he says, I write okay, okay, I write what? Okay, pursuant to Article 9, blah, 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 the Constitution of the All Progressive Party. Well, so you people even have a constitution. And all this madness is happening. So, in pursuant of that, please note that this resignation take immediate effect. Please be assured of my best regard, blah, blah, blah. So, and it was dated 16th. That was yesterday. And he signed it. The question is, if he wants to, if he now decides to go back to APC, this is easy money. Anybody within the APC can easily blackmail him with this. Okay, I will go to court. Let's settle. You see, in Nigeria, every single thing. Oh, someone. I hope people won't say I'm giving them expo how to extract money from them. Sorry. Yeah, hello. Welcome to Njenje Media. Yeah, hello. Good evening, sir.
Just to make a little conclusion.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. You see, this whole game of chess is really getting interesting. And,
really interesting. You're right.
By this time yesterday, I think, no, that was the day before yesterday. Or by 4 o'clock yesterday, we don't know that Oshomole was likely to leave the NWC, sorry.
Even yesterday night, what you remember as of the time I was live yesterday night, and that was around, I think I started late. That was around after 9 to 10. Even as of that time, he was still saying that he is the substantive chairman. So he didn't believe he would leave until day broke. Okay.
You know, I kept on scrolling through, going through YouTube to confirm, because I came to know that he was suspended through your live broadcast.
So you pay me for that then?
I would definitely do, but no other person had reported that. So I find it a little difficult to believe that he was actually suspended.
Oh, so you don't believe me? That's what you're saying. Anyway, on that note, I'll find you 2 kegs of palm wine.
Of course, I believe you. So now, I just wanted to talk about when you say some people said, or someone said, if Obaseki could go back to APC, that they might go to court to stop him. But
yes.
If you look at what Gardon said this afternoon or this evening, he denied having received any resignation letter.
But I just showed you the resignation letter now. I just showed it to you.
Yes, but you know, these politicians, they said, okay, even if it is in public, he has to bring it to their office. So it's also an argument. If they say they have not received it yet. So it's also an argument.
Do you know if Oshomole has a copy? Anyway, I see. In Nigeria, I can't say something is impossible. I mean, everything is possible. Honestly, everything.
That's what I think.
Everything is possible.
As an acting chairman now, if he denies that he has not received, and even if Oshomole has a copy, Oshomole now is not an authority. So, yeah, because even if he has a letter and the letter is not in the office, if he brings out the letter from his house, it's also another argument entirely.
Anyway, we don't know. You see, the letter that I showed, one thing we all have to take note here is, normally when you submit something like that to a Nigerian office, they normally put a stamp when I think a stamp says in or received. You know, that is the only official stamp that they say is received, is the only thing that confirms that it's being received. Anyway, thank you very much for your call, sir. And I think I have another caller on the line. Yeah, hello. Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right. Can you please reduce the device? Sorry. I can hear myself from the other device. Can you put it down? Can you mute your telly then, please? Thank you. Can you put your telly on mute, please?
Yeah, okay. I'm bringing it down now.
Okay, I can.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I put it down. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
I did. Yeah.
Go ahead.
My problem is that
Okay, the call dropped. If you want, you can call back. If not, I will be calling you today. Oh, okay. Hold on. Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. The problem is that thank you very much. I've been seeing since yesterday. We spoke yesterday.
Yes.
About we tell you Basek.
Go ahead.
Hello. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Stop listening to your stop. Listen, you are speaking to me.
The news chairman have seen the resignation of Obaseki.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry about that. And the problem is that what I'm talking about is that I don't think they want Obaseki to go. Because when you look at the South, at least he's the only government.
Yeah, he's the only footprint in the South. Yes.
Yes.
Mm. I think, yeah, you're listening to the other device. So when you are listening to the other device, it distorts because there is this time lag. It distorts the conversation. So you basically listen to the conversation that I'm having with you now, and that should be fine.
Yeah, and if he goes back again to APC, the way I look at it, it's going to have
Anyway, I think you done. You keep listening again to the other device. That's fine. Thank you very much. Anyway, on that note, I will say thank you everyone for joining me this evening. Let's keep watching and see what is going to happen with Edo State. But it is indeed fascinating and it's indeed intriguing to see the politics of Edo regarding what is happening. But is the question remains the question that is in the lips of everyone that's going to happen between now and Saturday is Obaseki going to go back to the APC? Is Obaseki going to go back to the APC? If he does, what does that mean? What does that portend for him? Is he going to, is that going to strengthen him too? Or would he just ignore APC and if they come back for settlement, would he just ignore them and move ahead and go into PDP? But like I said yesterday, it will be cost effective for him to stay in APC than to go in, because if he goes in PDP, you have gladiators already waiting, and he must contend with these gladiators. That is going to cost him a lot of financial muscle. He must spend, and he will spend real big. It is not an option also for him to go into any other mushroom party. It's not an option for him to go to like AC or AC or any other mushroom party. He cannot, because if he makes that mistake, that means he will have two gigantic monsters to fight against. So, and he doesn't, I don't think that grassroots, he will still need some prop up from a very, grassroots party. He's not the type of money bags that buys vote or something like that. So it's a little bit dicey for him. But again, like I said, my pre popped popcorns are ready. It's a question of trying to figure out where my microwave is, pop them in, get my nkwocha if COVID permits, and I do justice to that while we all wait and see what is going to happen. Once more, thank you, everyone. Let me take some comments, then I'll call it a day. I have Jennifer Sophie say, if I were to be Obaseki, I wouldn't go back to APC party again. Going back to APC will be a mess up to him because of the way they treated him until he resigned. I wouldn't say the way APC treated him. It would have been the way Oshomole, who controlled the APC at that moment in time, treated him anyway. So that is it. Um, Ife Kachi Vincent says, please, how is Abia State Governor doing? Hope he's recovering. I don't know. The last information I have on Abia State is that he's still in coma. Okay, Abia State Governor. So, coronavirus, with this medication that was declared yesterday by the British Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, I hope I think Nigeria must have heard about the story, and if they can make that medication, avail him that medication, probably he can get better. And I think that they say it's, one 25%, it might help. Anyway, thank you very much, and thank you for making time to join me this evening. My popcorn is ready, as Uche said. Thank you very much, Uche. My popcorn is also ready. So have a wonderful evening, and do not stress yourself. Just let's try keep observing social distance if we can. Share the video, like the video, give me thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and that's it. I will be doing my best to to come online. I know some of you have written me personally and requested that I come so often online, but I will try my best, because obviously I'm busy, but I'll try to squeeze out my time to see how we can spend time together. Now, look forward for my Saturday broadcast, because on Saturday I will be having some guests. Saturday on Sunday. Um, I'm still working on that to see which the guests are the ones that will confirm. But on Saturday, it might likely be some people. I'm still working to see if I can get Obaseki and his team to come online to come and speak with us. So if I do, and that will be fantastic, then just stay around. um, Saturday and Sunday, we will be online with a couple of people. I wouldn't tell you the names, but stay tuned because it's going to be a very fantastic evening with everyone. Thank you once more. Mazia is okay. Signing off. Thank you for being there.